Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about grief and dealing with the loss of a family member or a friend who had or was dealing with cancer. So about 7 months ago, almost 7 months, 7 months ago, I lost my mom to cancer. Ovarian cancer to be exact. And I just wanted to talk about like what happened like before she was diagnosed, what happened after she was diagnosed, what I was feeling and thinking was going to happen, what happened near the end, what happened after she passed, what people would say to me to make me feel better, and if it worked, how did I deal with my grief, am I still feeling it, and what it's like for me living day to day. So pretty much July of 2017 I came home after me and my ex broke up, and my mom had been feeling some pain, and you know, things just like weren't feeling good for her, like physically. So pretty much she went to the doctor, and the doctor was saying like she had bone spurs and a pinched nerve in her back, and was sending her to physical therapy. And she'd been feeling these things for a while, like a couple months at that point. And she wasn't really able to do anything really, like do much. So she was going to physical therapy, and it wasn't working. So she went back to the doctors, and they did some tests, and she found out that she had cancer. Did some more tests and figured out that it was ovarian and cervical cancer. And then you know, talked about like what they would have to do going forward with it, and stuff like that. When she told me, at first I couldn't like wrap my head around it. Honestly, throughout the whole experience, I still couldn't wrap my head around it. Like I literally, physically just could not deal. Watching her like go through that was like so hard to watch. Like it was so hard to watch. And after she was diagnosed, she did not want to know what stage she was in. She didn't really want to know anything about it. So then they put in the little valve for the chemo treatments, and she was only able to make it through one chemo session, and I guess because of that, her body was like just not doing well and not taking it well, and she had all these other problems like coming up while she was sick, and she wasn't able to keep doing chemo, and her body was like just going to shit, like literally. Like her legs and feet and thighs were like swollen, like with fluid inside of them. I know it's a little not appealing to hear, but and her stomach was swollen because of the mass that they found, and she had a lot of other things happening like in her stomach because it was spreading, and it was just not good. So they had her on like so many different medications, doing tons of tests, and at some point she had to go to the hospital. Then she came home. She couldn't do anything for herself. She couldn't get up. She couldn't go to the bathroom. She couldn't do anything. She had to like wear adult diapers and everything. Like, it wasn't fun. Anyways, so as the days and weeks and months go by, she was in and out of the hospital, in and out of rehab, and pretty much was like never home. And at first, other than the physical things that were going on from the chest down, she looked alright. Then she started to lose her hair. She couldn't even keep up her hair, like, to be honest. Like, I would braid it and like 2 days later it would be a mess. She would cry and stuff. And like throughout this whole, like, the whole experience, like, I would ask her and her fiance like what was happening, where she was, and I wasn't getting much information, little tidbits, but not much. I was in the dark about a lot of things. And for me to watch that was just so hard. And when her fiance was home, I would like leave and stay with my boyfriend. And then when he wasn't home, when he was at work, my mom's fiance, I mean, I would go there and make her food and take her to the bathroom and change her adult diapers, put on a new one. I would pretty much just help her like live as much as I could. And then she was so sick that pretty much she wasn't home for the last couple of months of her life. Probably 2 or 3 months of her life she was like not home at all. There were points where she thought she was gonna come home and then something would happen. She couldn't walk. She would fall down. Things were just like overall like really bad. And she didn't want to know what stage she was in. But unfortunately, like, the doctors, even though they were told not to tell her and that she didn't want to know, in one of the hospitals they pretty much just told her. And after she found that out, like, I personally think that she kind of just gave up because she was in stage 4. of ovarian cancer, and it was spreading, and she wasn't stable enough in other areas for her to continue treatment to stop it. So because I was in the dark about a lot of things and I didn't really know what was going on, and I couldn't bear to watch it. I would go visit her a bit. I would have somebody take me to the hospital or take me to the rehab center, and I would see her, but it wouldn't be for very long because she would be too tired or whatever the case may have been at the time, which I regret. I wish I would have been there a lot more than I was. But I knew that she wasn't mad at me about it. I knew that she understood why. I still feel guilty about it every single day, but I know that she wasn't mad at me about it. She didn't want me to see her like that either. But also because I didn't really know what was happening most of the time, I was thinking like, oh, she's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. Like, she's gonna bounce back. She's gonna be fine. She'll be okay. Like, things will get better. That's what I expected, and that is not what happened. Me and her fiance and my family think that she had that she had been sick for more than a year, because ovarian cancer and cervical cancer, a lot of times you don't show signs until it's too late. So she didn't know. She'd only been diagnosed for, let's see, for literally 6 months. So after being diagnosed, she only lived 6 months. Near the end of our battle with cancer, she didn't want to eat anymore. She was hiding food. The last time that she was in good condition, and the last time that I saw her in good condition, was on her birthday. And she literally turned 52, and I brought her a piece of cake so that I could give her something better than like a 1-calorie muffin that they gave her with some icing on it, like, because the hospital food was just so trash, and that's what they gave her for her birthday. So I brought her a piece of cake, and I think she ate that, and or even if she didn't eat it, like, that's okay, that's fine, but at least I got to give her something for her birthday that was better than a 1-calorie cupcake from the hospital. But anyways, so she started hiding food and not feeling good and not wanting to eat. When they would bring her food, she would only eat the pudding or the jello. And then one day I was with my boyfriend, and it was like 2 days after I got my tattoo for her. I have a tattoo right here for her. It says Faith with a cancer ribbon. It was literally like the day after or 2 days after that I'd just gotten it. I sent her a picture of it and never got like any response. And then I got an emergency text message from her fiance saying that I needed to see her like as soon as possible, and to tell my sister that my sister needed to come and all that. And when I got there, when I got to the room, she you could tell that she was just like at the end of her rope. She was going jaundice. Her liver was like shutting down. She was aware of everything and she understood what people were saying to her, but when she tried to talk, you couldn't understand what she was saying, or if you could, it was only like little parts and bits that you could piece together to like understand what she was saying. And that was even more traumatizing, to see her in that condition, like pretty much like done, finished, like couldn't fight anymore. And I talked to doctors. My family like had like a group conversation and stuff like that. And doctors told us that she would have to sign paperwork. She would have to sign for a DNR, which is a do not resuscitate. So if she were to stop breathing or her heart stopped or whatever the case may be, they were not going to try to save her to keep her alive. They were going to put her on a hospice so she would be comfortable for when the time came that she was not feeling any pain. So after hearing that and having like a little breakdown, like out of her sight where she couldn't see me, I went outside to take a moment, and I guess at that moment she had finally seen the picture of my tattoo. And and she told me that it was too late. I still have the text message on my old phone from her saying, too late. And that just like freaking broke my heart. And I was like, it's not too late, like it's fine, you're fine, like it's not too late, you're fine. Whatever happens, you're fine, you're good, you're okay. I was like, I love you so much, like you're so beautiful. And she said, I love you too, like you're so beautiful. And the tattoo was lovely. And then I went back in. When I went back in, she was sleeping. And then the doctors came in to move her up to the hospice floor. And at that point it was just me and my sister. Her fiance left because he wanted us to have our moment, and he just needed to sleep like for a little bit because he had been helping her and losing sleep and still going to work and taking time off and just being the most awesome fiance to her as humanly possible. So she had been up in hospice for about 40 minutes when she was in a lot of pain and she would cry, and I would ask her if she wanted me to have the doctors give her medicine to make her more comfortable, and she would say yes. This happened a couple times. I would ask her, she would say yes. She would cry in her sleep. I'd ask her again, she would say yes. To the point where she was on so much morphine that she was sleeping like, but with her eyes open. And the doctor would tell me, like, she's still there, you can still talk to her, she can still hear you, tell her that you love her, that it's okay. At that moment, me and my sister were just, talking, having conversation about, like, growing up and, just things about my mom that were funny or not so funny, and just things about growing up with her. And then my aunt stopped by to bring us food because we hadn't eaten. It was like literally like dark at that point when she had brought us food. We had a conversation. She left, said she would be back. And me and my sister stayed up like all night with her. In the morning, her fiance came, and I had my chair moved up like right next to her. Like, this is my chair, I'm facing the wall with the monitor, and then this is her and she's facing me. And I was holding her hand, and when everybody would leave the room for any reason, like to go smoke or to talk to the doctors or whatever the case may be, I would like get close to her and tell her that it was okay and she didn't have to fight anymore. And this whole time, like, her eyes were still open and it looked like she was looking like right at me, like dead at me, but you could hear that her breathing was just so labored, and like it was close. It was really, really close. And it was like around like 8 something, closer to 9 probably. And I was like, okay mom, I'm gonna take a nap, we're gonna take a nap together. Her eyes were still open, obviously. I think as soon as I started to fall asleep, like I was in my going to sleep phase, like every time I would switch hands, I would never let one hand let go before the other one was on. So I was holding her hand like literally every single time I would switch. Like there was no time where my skin wasn't touching her skin at that point. And then I finally like fell asleep for like a second. And I think when I fell asleep, that's when she fell asleep for good. Because as soon as I woke up, like not even a couple minutes later, they were confirming her death, which was freaking mortifying, like so mortifying. But at least I was there. I was there. I was touching her when it happened. I think she went to sleep with me because she didn't want me to see it. But yeah. So after that, I used her Facebook to post so that all her friends and our family could know that she passed, and everybody was messaging me and saying like time will heal, and talking about her and their experience being her friend, and telling me that just think about the happy times. If you're somebody who says like time will heal and think about the happy times. It's not a bad thing to say that, but just understand that that doesn't help. Not in all cases, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But for me personally, it did not help at all. If you can't make good memories with somebody anymore, thinking about the good memories hurts. It hurts. And time does not heal. Saying that doesn't help. And this isn't me ragging on anybody who says it, because sometimes when you're not going through it, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say to somebody who is going through something like that. It's hard to know what to say to somebody who like is losing or lost a family member. So saying those things can help some people, but in my personal experience, it didn't help. No matter how many times people said it to me, and it didn't. I worked through my own pain. I'm still working through my own pain, which is my next point, which is how did I deal with it, or how am I dealing with it? I didn't. Grief is freaking hard. Grief is draining, and it comes in waves. Angry, sad, relieved, loads of other kinds of feelings that go through you after, and sometimes they repeat and go over and over again. Depression, not eating, overeating, not sleeping, oversleeping, not wanting to be social, not being able to be social. I would have breakdowns literally every couple of hours every day. The first night after she died, I came here to stay with my boyfriend, and I was so tired because I had literally only gotten a couple of minutes of sleep. I had been up all night, I'd been up all day. I went to the funeral home, dropped off paperwork, stuff like that. Went through some of her things to give to my sister or to split up between me and her. So I was tired. So he came and got me from my apartment and brought me here, and I fell asleep, and when I woke up he wasn't here, and I immediately had a panic attack. I freaked out, and it was bad. I was probably crying so loud and so hard that everybody in the building could hear it. It was bad. And I didn't realize that he had sent me a message because I wasn't looking for my phone. I looked in every room, but he wasn't there. I didn't even think to look at my phone, or didn't know where it was at the moment. But when I did find it, I was like, I need you to come home now. I'm freaking out. I can't be alone right now. And he was like, okay, I'm coming home. I came home, and he was like, just think of the good memories. And I was just like, it's not gonna help. And he was telling me his experience about his dad passing and how he thought of the good times, but everybody grieves differently. So maybe him thinking about the good times helped him, but it wasn't helping me. So as days, weeks, a couple months went by, you know, dealing with lawyer stuff and family drama and just like literally drowning myself in material things, trying to fill a void. I would have panic attacks. I would see a place where me and my mom went to, I'd cry. I would just think about what she would think about what I was doing at that moment and cry. I would wear her sweater and cry. I would pass the apartment that we lived in before she died and cry. I would see our old house and cry. I wouldn't eat, or I would overeat, or I wouldn't sleep, or I would oversleep, or I wouldn't get out of bed, or I wouldn't leave the apartment, or I wouldn't even take care of myself. Literally, after she was diagnosed and like through the months and like even after she died, like I wouldn't brush my hair, I wouldn't take a shower, I wouldn't brush my teeth, I wouldn't take care of myself at all. At all. And it was bad. I just wasn't, like, I wasn't taking it very well. And then added stress with lawyers and me and my sister arguing about things and just everything in general. It just like was not helping. Like I was not getting better. I would feel guilty for having a happy moment or laughing or having a good time if I did go out or just having good moments in general. I would just feel guilty about it. And I feel guilty about it every day, but I know that she wouldn't want me to feel guilty. She wouldn't want me to be sad. She wouldn't want me to dwell. So my next point is, am I still feeling it? Am I still feeling grief? Am I still dealing with it? Yes. Every single day. Grief is a big factor. It's a big factor still. Every day is different. Some days I eat a lot, or I don't eat, or I get out of bed and I do stuff, or I don't. Some days I have a good day and I'm fine. And some days she just like won't leave my thoughts. So before I end this video, if there is anybody who is going through this or has a family member that is going through any kind of cancer, or a family member who is just getting old and dying, or slowly not being not themselves anymore, or anything like that, it will be okay. It's gonna hurt a lot. You're not gonna feel good for a while. You're gonna have mixed emotions. You're gonna go through all the stages of grief, anger, depression, guilt, everything. You're gonna feel it all. Relief, whatever. You're gonna feel it all. And don't get mad at the people who tell you that it will get better or that time will heal it, or just think of the good memories. Don't get mad at them because they don't know what to say. Even somebody who experienced it, myself. If somebody were to tell me like my mom or dad has cancer, or my grandma has cancer, or my mom just died or something like that, I myself still wouldn't even know what is the right thing to say, because it's hard to try and make somebody feel better about something like that. It's just it's like literally impossible. talking about this, making this video made me feel a little bit better and kind of lifted a weight off my shoulders, and I hope that it helps somebody who's going through this. And I want to say, don't have any expectations. Don't think that they're gonna make it through it, but don't think that they're gonna die. Just be supportive of whatever decision they make. Try to be there as much as you can. And if you can't be there as much as you can, or if you can't be there as often as you want, don't feel guilty about it. I'm sure that person will not want you to feel guilty or be mad at you. It's hard to watch somebody like literally wither away into nothingness. Like, it's hard to watch somebody die. It's hard to see the effects. Watching somebody lose their hair, or lose so much weight, or be swollen, or not be able to move, or not be able to take it. It's freaking like mortifying, scarring. Don't feel bad or guilty about things that happened in the past, or just go through your grieving period. Days will get better. Months will get better. I'm healing slowly at my own rate, and everybody heals at different rates. It could take me 1 year, it could take me 5 years, it could take me 15, 20, 40, 50. I could literally still feel like crap about losing my mom until the day I die. Any day could be your last, or a friend's last, or a family member's last. Life starts and ends unexpectedly. It sucks. It sucks. But I just wanted to make this video to help somebody who's going through it, or who has been through it, to help myself a little bit. If I help one person who sees this video, I did my job. I made this to help other people, and to talk about my experience and the blows that came with it. I know this was not a happy video, but if this helped you, or you liked it, or at some point you want an updated video about this topic, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. If anybody needs to talk to somebody, I will be that person. Just DM me on Instagram or on Snapchat, or whatever the case may be. You can talk to me. I will talk to anybody about it if you need help, if you want advice, if you just want to vent and just have me listen and me not say anything. It's fine. You can come to me. I hope that this helped somebody. I'm sure this is somebody who's going through it, or somebody who's been through it, or anyways, I hope that everybody has a good day. I hope this helped. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.